You are in the studio of Perpetual Mojo, and I'd like to introduce you to someone who I think you'd like to meet. This is the pattern for my owl mail. It's gonna go on a sponge, and don't panic, this is pretty easy. I'll give you the pattern on the post page. I've traced the outline on my grout sponge, and I'm gonna use something that we use in polymer clay all the time. It's a tissue blade, and it's meant for cutting very, very thin slices of polymer clay, but check it out. Now, according to my drawing, that's about how the wings would look. But what I've decided I want to do is make the wings go down the side like that. For these adorable little eyes, I used one of Eileen Hall's Sizzix dies. I want to use the tacky glue as thick as I can. So let's place the eyes first. I even went towards the middle because we're going to put our button eye on before this dries, so it will need it. And then I used this stiff brush, it's actually an old denture brush, just to kind of pounce it in because I want that glue to go nice and deep. To sew the buttons on, I'm using this scrapper spool. It's a nice heavy, almost like a floss kind of deal. I've put it on a nice long needle, and I brought it up from behind because that's where I want to secure it. And I'm going to add also just another dot of glue under that, right under my button, and go back down through. If it's difficult going through, be prepared with a pair of pliers to grab it. Let me sew the other ones on, and then we'll do the finishing touches. I put a whole lot of super thick tacky glue on the wings, and I'm spreading it all the way out to the edges. And then you are going to push those guys down, push them in. You want them to attach really firmly. Did the same with the little guy's beak too. And then I recommend letting them dry completely. Trace around the owl to cut out my postcard that will go on the back. After you've cut it out, you're going to want to go back and trim so that there isn't any paper edge that hangs over the sponge, because that will certainly catch on something and tear. So now lay it on, line it up. You have a minute or two to move it in case it's not positioned quite correctly. Now you could put a light weight on that and let that firmly dry before you're done. When you're dry, you're ready to address it. And I would like to point out to you that I found out by mistake that the post office will only deliver to the lowest written address on here, because when I tried to mail cake mail and it said to my friend in Maryland, and I just had barely room to fit my return address down here, they mailed it back to me. Be sure to leave lots of space because they need to put 2 stamps, 2 big stickers on the back. So who wouldn't want to get this owl mail? I'm Candace. Stay crafty, my friends.